Good morning, Gun Nuts. This is Nathan from the Reload Room, coming to you with our weekly recap of the Reloaders Network videos that I watched this week, and maybe some outside the Reloaders Network. Eagle Eye Shooting has finished the Reloaders Network t-shirts. He posts a video about that, so if you've ordered one, go take a look at it, see what you're getting. If you haven't and you're thinking about it, take a look. If you haven't and you're not thinking about it, you should still take a look. Eagle Eye also redid his logo this week, and it looks amazing. So, man, good job. I'm going to ask you some questions about that because I'm seriously thinking about kind of doing a little bit of rebranding myself. So, good job. He also gets in his Lee Breechlock Pro press, and he does a review on it. Seems really happy with it. It seems like a good option for a lot of people. Another guy, speaking of presses, another guy that I found his videos called the Reloader, and the link will be in the description for everybody. He does some work with a Hornady lock and load that I really needed to see. One of the things he does is he 3D prints the mechanism for the case feeder that sits in here, not the tubes. He uses the tubes from like a Lee setup. But it's all done out of plastic. It takes some adjustment, some reconfiguring, but he gets it working where it's working just slick. I mean, more slick than any of the ones I've ever seen before. He also does some videos on like tracks and his bench and some other mods for different reloading equipment. So I'm gonna put that link down there. Check his videos out. Tell him that the Reloaders Network sent him. See if he'll come over and say hi to us. Johnny's Reloading Bench does most of an AR-10 build this week. I tell you, everybody's been really busy. It's funny because I posted this, if you saw my video on BitChute, I mean, just redonkulously long video. And between that and editing the video for YouTube and everything else, I was just so busy on Sunday and Monday. And then I kind of slacked off a little bit and just, man, everybody really posted a lot of good content this week. So it's kind of hard to keep up with. So definitely check everybody out. But Johnny's Reloading Bench does an AR-10 build. He does the lower and the upper. He just put out the upper maybe last night. Really good information for those of you that are interested in AR-10 build or those that are just interested in possibly another option for a rifle. JH586SW, speaking of rifles, he does the first video of his loading development for the 35 Remington. He does an amazing job, and special shout out to JH586SW. Jamie, thank you very much. I got my mold. He sent me a mold, a 41 mag mold. It's a Lyman mold. It's one of the older ones that's discontinued stuff, so I would have played heck trying to get one. In fact, I didn't even try to get one because I've had in the past such a hard time finding them. So I can't thank you enough, buddy. I can't wait to make a video with it and cast with it and get it going. Uncle Jim. Seems like every week I'm talking about Uncle Jim, but I can't help it. So he starts off the week with him and his grudge with Snowman. And I think the Snowman gets a little bit of the upper hand again. But by the end of the week, he's doing videos where he's building an amazing mold heater, and he does some wild game tracking of an albino turkey. Just his videos, just amazing. Go ahead and give him a watch and a like, thumbs up. The Social Regressive does a review on a Boyd's At-One stock and a Falcon scope. I've never seen this stock before, but it seems really functional. Sometimes when you try to make something fit in many different categories, you know, you can use this, you know, the stock for prone, or you can use it for offhand. It loses its actual functionality for any of those purposes. But in this case, it really looks like Boyd's hit a home run with this. It looks like a great hunting all-around stock for doing prairie dog hunting, prone, or, you know, walking through the woods or whatever. It really looks great. They seem to do a lot of good shooting with it, and they do some great moving target shooting. So take a look at that. I think it's really worth watching. It's kind of a fun video. Georgia Boy 44 tests his Rossi 92 with some 357s with 2400, H110, and Accurate Arms number 9. So Basically the usual suspects for 357. Get some good results, get some really good speeds. So go ahead and check his video out on that if you're looking at kind of getting an idea of where some loads might need to be for doing some lever action 357 shooting. I highly recommend that. I think that he's right in the ballpark of exactly where you kind of need to be. The Bohemian Hunting Clubs, the first time I mentioned them on the recap. They're doing a review of a CVA Scout 4570 rifle. I was unfamiliar with this brand. It looks like a great replacement for the handy rifle. I always wanted a handy rifle. I always thought I wanted a big bore handy rifle as well, but whenever I would pick up a regular standard 4570 handy rifle, I would just think to myself, I don't hate my shoulder that much. Now the Buffalo Classics are something I was always interested in, but I could never find one. This looks like a nice medium ground in there, where the rifle looks a little bit heavier than a standard handy rifle, looks a bit more well made. Maybe not quite as long and ungainly as the Buffalo Classic was. So give that a look if that's something that you're interested in, or if you just want to see some guys do some really good content. The Reloader dude, what he does is he's got a Dillon 650 that runs 9mm. I completely understand. Eventually, I want to have this thing set up fully progressive, running nothing but 45 ACP. If you shoot a lot of a round, you don't want to monkey with it. You just want to pump it out. So I totally understand. Well, he got in a large batch of brass from a deal with somebody he knows. And to deep prime the brass so that he could go ahead and process it and clean it, he just set up his 650 to where everything stays the same, only he changes out the tool head and puts in a deep priming die, and he just runs the thing as normal. And it works really well. And I'm not going to say that's not something I wouldn't have thought of, but I could see how a lot of people wouldn't have thought of that. So when you're going to process 10,000 pieces of brass, yeah, progressive's pretty much the way to go. Full Lead Taco he casts and does some tests with, I want to get this right, it's with an NOE bullet mold that I think he helped design. It's a 358 154 RF, and it looks like it's a powder coat design from NOE. So go ahead and check. He does 2 different videos. I'm going to put links to 2 of them. I'm not going to put links to every one of... I've really thought about this. I was going to put links to everything that everybody posted, every format. It's really honestly it just takes me too much time to do. So if somebody posts 2 different types of videos or only posts in one area, I'm gonna post those links, but I'm not gonna put it to everyone. So I'll put 2 links here for Full Lead Taco, so you can watch the full video and the truncated YouTube one if you feel that that's what you want to do, which whatever. 243 Outdoors takes out the 220 Swift again with a multitude of different powders. I don't even remember how many, 5 or 6 different powders. Different powder loads. And he gets some really great speeds with it and some good accuracy. And it's nice to see kind of, the 220 Swift out there doing its thing. So this is going to kind of wrap up the recap part of this. Wrap up the recap. But if you haven't checked out the Reloaders Network, haven't went onto the website, do so. A lot of good articles are coming up that aren't getting videos about them. So there's guys out there that are making, Charlie Brass Stuffer's one of them. Everybody, but pretty much so, that's involved in the Reloaders Network has been putting out articles, and some of the articles are standalone pieces. Some really great information. I highly, 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 highly recommend going there and checking that out. There's a link under there's a chat section that says how to register. Follow that. I sent my girlfriend in blind to try to register for it, and register on the website, and it took her quite a while. She had some issues with her Google account and a WordPress account, things like that. So follow the links or follow the directions, and you should be good to go. It's a really great resource for all of us, so go ahead and take a look at that. And I appreciate it. I think I'm going to be out, and stay safe, have fun. I'll see you when I see you. Laters.